Hello, my name is Kelsey and welcome to Becoming Home. Today we're making delicious fresh Pico de Gallo and quesadillas, and I'm starving, so let's get started. I always like a sharp knife when I'm working in the kitchen, especially when I'm cutting tomatoes. You don't need to use a steel if you're not comfortable, but if you have one in your knife block, it's worth learning to use it. I just watched a Gordon Ramsay how-to video and started slow until I got the hang of it. Look how easily the sharp knife slices through the tomato. If you've ever used a blunt knife to cut tomatoes, you know how frustrating it can be. Dice about 5 tomatoes into small pieces and place them into a medium bowl. Next, peel and finely dice 2 onions. I could have used my mandolin for this, but my sister showed me a new dicing method and I wanted to share it with you guys. First, cut your onion in half and place the flat side down on the cutting board. Then, make between 2 and 3 horizontal slices into your onion, but don't cut it all the way through. Next, hold your knife at a 90-degree angle to yourself and slice down into the onion, also making sure not to slice all the way through the left side of the onion. Now, slice the onion the way you normally would. Because of the previous cut you've made, you get diced onion as a result. If you don't feel like this is chopped finely enough, you can continue to dice your onions, but this is still a great starting point. Next, remove the seeds and membranes from 1 medium jalapeno pepper, finely dicing it before adding it to your bowl. If you like more heat, you could always add more peppers or leave the seeds in, but I find this is a good level for most people. Next, roll your limes between your hand and the cutting board. This helps release the juices and makes it easier to squeeze. Instead of cutting my limes in half, I slice them lengthways into thirds, and then the middle third I cut into halves. I think you get a lot more juice out of them this way. I use the juice of about 3 limes. Add about 1.5 tablespoons of minced garlic. You can of course use fresh, but this is one instance where I like the brined garlic better for some reason. Add salt and pepper to taste, but you do need quite a lot of it. I also throw in some red pepper flakes. Stir it up and then realize it looks too red and you've forgotten something. Ah yes, the cilantro. Finally chop up a handful of cilantro and add it to your fresh, flavorful pico mixture before stirring it up for a final time and giving it a taste test before moving onto your quesadillas. I use a fairly cheap cut of steak. These are buy one get one free at Tom Thumb. Remove the obvious bits of fat and gristle before slicing. Then sort through your slices and cut off any really thick pieces of gristle before slicing through your meat again. Next, take a taco seasoning packet and sprinkle about half of the mixture onto your meat and mix to coat. Decide you need a little more for optimum flavoring before heating up about 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil in a skillet. Once the oil is hot, cook your meat until it's browned and delicious. Take a clean, non-stick pan and melt some butter on medium heat. Place a tortilla in the pan, then sprinkle it with a thin layer of shredded cheese. Spread your meat in an even layer on top of the cheese, and then add even more cheese on top of the meat. Place another tortilla on top of the cheese and wait until the cheese is melted slightly before removing to a plate. Melt a little more butter in your pan before using the plate to assist you in flipping the quesadilla onto the other side. Cook until the bottom tortilla is brown but hopefully not burned. Cut the tortillas into quarters, spoon a generous helping of your delicious fresh pico onto the plate, add some sour cream, and bam! Lunch is ready. Gobble down that cheesy, steaky goodness and the fresh, tangy pico with just the right amount of heat. Throw in some sour cream and maybe add a cold beer if it's your day off, and you can. Not long after, my plate had joined Babish's Clean Plate Club. Well, what can I say except that fresh, homemade pico is delicious. I hope you enjoyed this video and that it's inspired you to make your own lunch. Check out some of my other recipe videos by clicking here, or some of my DIY projects by clicking here. Thanks to everybody out there watching my videos, and I'll see you next Friday.